Hey y'all, happy Friday. So we're picking back up, going in again. And so we found out we're learning sheep responsibilities. Our sheep responsibilities are to listen to his voice. The sheep listen to the voice of the shepherd and heed it. And it says, this is John 10, verse 3. We're picking up where we left off yesterday. It says, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. This is paramount. Okay? The shepherd knows each of his sheep and he calls them by name. Of course, this referring to Jesus calling each of his sheep by name. Do you remember the story of Zacchaeus, which we have talked about? Zacchaeus was a tax collector, and he was not liked at all in any way, shape, or form. Nobody liked Zacchaeus. And so I was looking for that account as well so that I could read the scripture, because y'all know I actually like to read. I like to read the scripture. Luke 19. Okay, so Zacchaeus is in Luke 19. And this is a rabbit trail, but it's going to show or demonstrate the point I'm talking about here, and he leads them by name. He calls them by name and he leads them out. So Zacchaeus, Luke 19:1. And Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through it, and there was a man called Zacchaeus, a chief tax collector, and he was rich. And he was trying to see Jesus, which one he was, but he could not on account of the crowd, because he was small in stature. So he ran on ahead and climbed up in a sycamore tree in order to see him, for he was about to pass that way. And when Jesus reached the place, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down. I must stay at your house today. So he hurried and came down, and he received and welcomed him, Jesus, joyfully. When the people saw it, of course, they all muttered among themselves and indignantly complained. He's gone in to be the guest and lodge of the man who is devoted to sin and preeminently a sinner. So then Zacchaeus stood up and solemnly declared to the Lord, See, Lord, half of my goods I now give by way of restoration to the poor. And if I have cheated anyone out of anything, I now restore it 4 times as much. And Jesus said to him, Today is messianic and spiritual salvation come to all members of this household. Since Zacchaeus too is a son of Abraham, for the Son of Man came to seek and save that which was lost. So Zacchaeus, even though he was a son of Abraham, he was a Jew, he was lost. He was a man devoted to sin and preeminently a sinner. But when Jesus came by, he called him Zacchaeus. They'd never met before. Zacchaeus says he wanted to see Jesus and which one he was. So he wanted to know which one was Jesus, this man that he had been hearing about. And Jesus didn't call him, hey loser, hey tax collector, hey sinner, hey short man, hey thief. He said, Zacchaeus. He called him by his name. And he does the same thing to us. He doesn't call us by our mistakes. He doesn't call us by what we should have been, what we could have been, what we shouldn't have done, what we messed up with, who we pretended to be. He calls us by our name because the shepherd knows his sheep. And he calls us by our name in love, right? And Zacchaeus hurried and came down and received and welcomed Jesus. So he calls you by name. He doesn't call you by anything other than who you were created to be. That's a good place to stop heading into the weekend, that he calls you by who you were created to be. Oh, that's good. All right. I will see you all on Monday. Bye, y'all.